Welcome to No Gate Fees with Brent Martineau on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network.
All over the place here on a Wednesday, final edition of No Gate Fees presented by Nimnicht Buick GMC. And how about this? Baker County and Claremont, you're watching a state semifinal game against American Heritage. And the Wildcats just scored a couple of runs in the fourth inning and now just put another runner on. I think they have first and second with 2 outs and up 2-0 in that game. The Baker County Wildcats trying to move on to the state championship game as they play the bottom of the fourth, still threatening with a couple outs here as we begin No Gate Fees on a Wednesday presented by Nimnicht Buick GMC. And we're live out there in Claremont thanks to Stuart Weber. We'll visit with him in just a bit. University Christian plays right after this one in the state championship at 4 o'clock. And Baldwin almost had it. Went 10 innings yesterday. Had a couple of real chances to win that game, but lost in 10 innings, unfortunately, on Tuesday to Cavalry Christian, and their season, a fantastic one at that, at 29-2, ends in the state semifinals. I think they've lost 3 straight years to Cavalry Christian to beat those private schools in those lower classifications. Meanwhile, down in Fort Myers, St. John's Country Day, one of those private schools trying to get a W and win a state championship. They had a 3-1 lead in the 7th inning and relinquished it. We're in the 8th inning in the Class 2A state championship game. Miami Christian, St. John's Country Day, that one is tied at 3. And we'll keep you posted on that one. I guess we're going to hang here a little bit before we get into this whole show and see what happens at this at-bat, which I like about this, Jason Hamby, as Stuart Weber's giving us a look at, again, first and second, 2 outs.
Yeah, I feel like we could get a big knock right here.
I think this could really extend it now. I mean, they've got 2 good pitchers there at Baker County that kind of split the game sometimes, and they'll be able to try to get 9 more outs is what they're looking for. Can you add some more insurance? Every run is important. These are the situations I think are so important. Can you make a 2-run inning a 3 or 4-run inning? And on the opposition, can you hold a 2-run inning to a 2-run inning? I'll go back to that Baldwin game yesterday. They had bases loaded, nobody out twice, and could have won the game and didn't do it. I mean, they'll lose sleep forever over those kind of moments. That's just the way sports go sometimes. Jen Shields, the coach of Baldwin, has 2 daughters playing on Baker County, so she hung around in Claremont to watch them and hoping her daughters can get a state championship. So we'll see if that happens. But first, you got to get by these semis, and they're in a very good spot to do so right now. Now let's hang on that, Hamby, and why not? We show a quick little peek at what's going on there from Claremont as Baker County and American Heritage do battle in the state semis. Now we got bases loaded. All right, let's do this. Let's come back out to here. We'll revisit what's going on there in just a moment as give Stuart a little bit of a break, and we'll take this one full for now. I can direct this along with you. You produce, you direct, you talk, Amby. So do I. Here on No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnicht Buick GMC. What an exciting way to finish up our season. It's the 2nd season of No Gate Fees. We'll have Committed to the Uncommitted. We'll have a softball player and a baseball player. We're going to talk about these games and the state championship games and what we've seen. We'll have our final edition of our High Five Power Polls. And also, the thing today that I want to get into is, I just finished up parenting a couple of kids in high school. And this could go for any sport, by the way, but obviously specific for me, baseball and softball, and we do a lot of baseball and softball on this show. That's what it's dedicated to. But we also bring in the whole youth sports realm. And in this case, I say, what did we learn from the high school career as a parent? I think you'd answer this differently as a coach. I think you'd answer it differently as an administrator, differently as an umpire, differently as a kid. But I can only share my experiences, and I won't share them all, but I have just a couple of topics. You played high school ball, so it'll be interesting to get your vantage point. It looks like you might join a coaching staff in the high school ranks, potentially. We won't break any news, but that could be on the horizon, Hamby, as you continue to coach a little bit at this phase of it. So you have a couple of different vantage points on that. But high school ball is fun, man, and I think that's why we love doing this show. I think we love doing high school football. We're going to do expanded coverage of that with our Friday Night Blitz program and brand coming up on our Action Sports Jax 24/7 network this fall. We like high school sports for a reason. And, how about that? You jumped right back into it. Base hit, couple more runs, and they're still going. Baker County. The Wildcats, fist pumping and all excited, and you can hear how loud it is. That's a big-time hit. I'll get the name in just a couple of moments, but big-time hit for that young lady for Baker County. The Wildcats are now up 4-0 over American Heritage. Will that be enough? That's a lot in a game like this. These are usually tight games by the time you get to the Final Four. That is a lot of runs with just 9 outs to go for American Heritage. So big moment right there for Baker County. Nice job getting back to that, Hamby. You're doing a heck of a job, man. Noticed it. You saw it.
I'm looking. I'm watching.
We got to try to get that young lady's name. It was number 25.
25.
Right? But anyway, give us your high school experience. It was a good one, right? I mean, you still got a lot of buddies you talk to. You got,
oh, yeah.
You got it from the player perspective more so than the coach perspective, although that's coming on the horizon.
Right. Yeah, I think, all in all, it is. I think it's still hands down the best experience you can have as a player. I mean, I've got a couple of buddies that are in the minors right now that I played with, and they'll still tell you that their best memories are from high school baseball, that their best moments on a baseball field in general were suiting up with their high school teams, with our high school team, and some from other teams. But you really can't beat it, man. And we've talked all season long about what high school baseball and softball, that dynamic provides that you won't get anywhere else, whether it's travel ball, whether it's college, and whether it's at the professional level. There's just something about it. There's something about representing your school, representing the guys that you've played with your whole life. And I think you're starting to transition a good ways away from this now. But I mean, there's still a large element of this is your neighborhood, and this is your area. And like I said, with transfers, homeschools,
yeah, a little less of that.
Yeah, a little bit less of that. But nonetheless, there's still that aspect of pride that you really don't get at any other level. So I think that remains true. You just watch the passion that we've seen even just a second ago with that big 2-out or 2-run knock. I mean, yeah, you're gonna get that at every level, but it's just something different when you're playing high school.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think it is different. I will say this, and that's actually where I go first. And as, again, update 4-0 Baker County. That was Mallory Jackson, by the way, coming up with that big hit. So congratulations on that big swing. Karis Richardson also with another couple RBI. She came up with an earlier hit to go up 2-0. And now this is turning into a huge inning for Baker County and one that could move them to the state championship game coming up tomorrow in Claremont if they're able to get the win. So we'll keep you posted on that front. I want to keep updating like real time if you're watching and hanging with us, which we appreciate you doing. St. John's Country Day, just got told Colt Myers made a diving play at shortstop for them as I'm getting some text in. And here's what happened in that inning. Line out to left, top of the 8th, fly out to left for Cody Denault, and then a walk, and then a line out to Colt, which Kess came in diving fashion. Well, how about this? All of a sudden, single for St. John's Country Day.
All right.
Single on a bunt, and now we've got first and third, bottom of the 8th, and Preston Cole, who's a fantastic young talent for St. John's Country Day, is up with a chance to win a state championship for St. John's Country Day. So
get Gilson up.
Yeah, Gilson's coming up in a little bit, but not yet. So who's going to be the hero potentially for St. John's Country Day?
Nobody out, right?
There's nobody out. What are you doing, Coach? You letting him swing or are you squeezing?
Yeah. No, I'm not squeezing. There's too many disasters that come with squeezing. I'm not trying to run into 2 outs.
Yeah, with nobody out, I don't like the squeeze here either, especially because if it's 1 out, maybe, but they just moved the runner up, so now it's second and third. They're going deep on the bench, by the way. Some names I haven't seen for St. John's Country Day in terms of pinch running and other things. They've got a lot of different guys in the ball game. 3-3, bottom of the 8th, and I think, oh my goodness, they must have just done a first and third. They got somebody out at the plate.
Oh gosh.
So it's very hard to tell. I'm a game changer. I'm not watching it, but they just had somebody thrown out at the plate with nobody out. You can't be getting thrown out at the plate.
Does that mean guy on second?
No, now the guy on second goes to third, and it's a 3-0 count. This is what happens. My blood pressure's up already, and I don't even have a dog in the fight here.
You got to have a good AB from the guy at the plate.
So Preston Cole actually 3-0 count now, ball 4. This will be interesting. I have no idea who Miami Christian has as a strike thrower or the guy in the game has thrown like 82 pitches, and he's walked He's actually walked 5 guys, so you don't want to load the bases.
Right.
Yeah, you aren't going to do that because you could bring up – you got the double play ball in effect. See, now with 1 out, Hamby, double play ball in effect. Let's see who's coming up.
I wonder if they
Gilliland's coming up for who's 1 for 3 in the game, 9-hitter. Now, again, St. John's Country Day 9-hitter, different than like Creekside 9-hitter. Mm-hmm. So that's this is one that but they don't bunt a lot, so it's not their game. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying they can't bunt, but I doubt they'll run into another out here. I think you kind of just got to let things play out. Listen, it would be unbelievable if I could end this show live with St. John's Country Day winning the state championship on a suicide squeeze, all right? Mm-hmm. There'd be nobody happier. Come on, Tom Lucas. Make it happen. Make it happen for me. Let's see if you can do it. Gilliland.
Buddy, get you a heater and put that thing in the air.
So a steal, by the way, they just eliminated the double play. This is another reason why I would say, hey, just let him swing away now, right? Because the infield's in. This guy's not throwing strikes either, so why give him something, which also makes it harder to bunt. Mm-hmm. We'll get on with the rest of the show in a minute, but I'm giving you play-by-play action here of St. John's Country Day in the bottom of the 8th, up to the bat, 2nd and 3rd, 2-0 count, 1 out, and a chance to win the state championship. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Mm-hmm. They led 3-1. And gave up 2 runs in the top of the 7th. They had a chance to, I think, win it in the bottom of the 7th. Had a runner on 3rd with 2 outs and couldn't get him home. And now we go to the bottom of the 8th. They got him out, and here we go again. And I got my wife texting me, wow, and I have no idea what that means because they're taking my NFHS feed and watching from their living room. That's how much the Martineaus are into this stuff.
Team dad right here.
So... Hey, so let me talk around this while I'll continue to give you updates. It's now 2-2 count. And Kyle Boylstone's coming to the plate after, which would be pretty interesting to see if that happens. Because he's a fantastic talent. That's a guy you want up at the plate. I think they like every guy up at the plate at St. John's Country Day, though. They don't mind. So you were talking about what you said. Like, I came into the high school realm thinking, like, my best time, I loved high school ball. But my best time was college. College was awesome. Like, it was totally different. So much so that, like, I didn't have, like, this unbelievable college career. I played 1 year really well and played a lot, very sparingly. I was a walk-on guy. But I loved the whole thing. It was a lot of baseball. You meet the guys from all over the country. Those are the guys I keep in touch with a lot from a numerous standpoint. I keep in touch with a couple of baseball guys from high school, but not all of them. And it was just some special times, some fun times, more so than high school. Now, is Rhode Island high school baseball? Is that part of it? I don't know. But I came in thinking high school has changed. Like, it's travel ball world. Like, everything's about recruiting. Nobody recruits even in high school. Like, yeah, it's going to be fun, but is it really as good as it used to be? And I leave here, and this is my number one thing that I wrote down for what do I think about the high school experience? What did I learn? That it still matters. At least in Jacksonville, Florida, it really matters. In the state of Florida, it really matters. And I think that is really cool, by the way. Like, I think it means something to wear the jersey. Now, we do have a lot more people transferring around, and to some people, maybe it doesn't mean to wear the same jersey. That's up to them, to each their own. Every situation's different. Not going to judge that. But I can just tell you from my kid's standpoint, 4 years at Creekside, baseball team, softball team, was terrific. I think St. John's Country Day just won on a pass ball.
Oh, I mean, great, but no hero.
Game was tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th when a drop third strike scored a run.
What a way to lose a state championship.
Wow. Well, so congratulations to St. John's Country Day. They get it done. And they win a state championship. They've been knocking on that door, and they end up getting a strike 3 that gets away and put enough pressure on to get the win. And St. John's Country Day, congratulations to them. They win a state championship in Class 2A. Again, they've had some really good teams, nationally ranked teams, top 10 teams in the state. This one was doing it too. They have a big target on their back. I said the same thing about Trinity Christian. You can agree, disagree. There are a lot of folks in town that feel different about both of those programs, about how they acquire kids and how much they have and where they're from and all this stuff. That's the old public school, private school thing. And it's a debate that will be going on forever and ever. And the bottom line is, for me, they're very talented. It's about the kids more than that system and everything else. You can not like the system, but still like the kids and root for the kids and cheer for the kids and all that. And I know this. We know a lot of the kids on St. John's Country Day. Really good kids, and good for them. Like, congratulations to them and to Tom Lucas and the program. They do a lot of things really well over there and they've built a very strong program. And I also think it comes with a major target on their back. There's a lot of pressure on Trinity and St. John's Country Day here in Jacksonville. Everybody's trying to get them. And around the state, they've now made a name for themselves where everybody's trying to get you. Mm-hmm. And so to handle that and to come through on the winning side, I think that takes a lot. So congratulations. And Tom Lucas, St. John's Country Day, they win a state championship. They won one of the best programs over the last couple of years as well, and they get to hold that trophy at the end of the day in Class 2A. I still would like to, by the way, one thing I wish we did, I think I might have said this last week. I can't remember where I say stuff anymore because we talk about it so much, but I wish you'd get the 7 class winners and have another tournament to determine the state champion of all. Like, stay there in Fort Myers,
right,
or go back to, like, go to the middle, wherever. I wish I could do it as an exhibition. I wish there was a way to do it, that we could sponsor it, put it on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, whatever, and get the 7 teams that won the state championship, and maybe you find an 8th or somebody gets a bye. I don't know how that part works, but you play it out to determine one winner. You can do that in like a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
In baseball, you can do that. Football, you couldn't do that. It'd have to take like another 4 weeks. So
you could do it this weekend.
Yeah, you could do it this weekend. So I'd love to know, because I think in baseball, you don't know. I mean, St. John's Country Day might be the best team in the state. Stoneman Douglas might be the best team in the state. You know, Trinity and who they just lose to? Yes, Westminster. Is that who it was? Yeah, so they might be the best. Westminster might be. It's hard to tell of all the state champions. So I wish we kind of took it one step further, almost like Indiana basketball, you know, right, like they did determine the one state champ. So congrats again to St. John's Country Day. They get it done 4-3 in the state championship game, a game that took over 3 hours, went 8 innings. So the drama was there for sure, and they got it done. Congratulations once again to all of them. Maybe we'll try to sneak them on before the end of the show if we can do so. All right, what do we got? Should we check in with Weber? Should we continue to talk about what we love about high school sports? Where do you want to take this, Hamby?
Let's keep going. It's
yeah, we got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, nobody on 1 out in Baldwin.
For
we got
Baker
first
County?
and second. We got first and second.
For who?
The good guys.
Oh, they're still hitting.
No, this is the next inning. They went 3 up, 3 down.
Okay.
On defense.
Oh, great. So that's a big thing, by the way. I always say that.
To get a 0, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you go score 4 runs and you go put up a 0, and now they're threatening again. So they're in really good shape. This is the bottom of the 5th inning here. Baker County scored 4 in the 4th, and they lead it 4-0, first and second. Stuart Weber taking us in and showing us a peek over there in Claremont. Coming up is University Christian at 4 o'clock. So we'll see if they score. While we're watching a little bit of this for a couple seconds and peeking in, again, I'm going to check some of these things off the list. What we learned about high school sports as a parent, again, this is from a parent perspective, high school sports really still matter. Love it, especially baseball and softball. I can tell you that. This experience mattered. That's part of one of my other things, Hamby. I say it's all right for it to be important. I think I kind of along the way, it's like we know it's important. It's a big deal. It's kind of fun in our household. It's important to the kids. And you're like, okay, well, if it's important to the kids, kind of important to you. And I'm kind of like, I don't feel right that this is so important. Not the wins and losses. The experience is important. You learn so much. You meet so many people, all those different things. Like, I love that part. And it leads me into my next part. And Hamby, it gets to the point you're going to. The coaches are really invested. And the thing I found, that's hit pretty well. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a double and score at least one, if not two. They are sending them. 5th run comes in, 6th run comes in. So Baker County now goes on top 6-0. That ball was smoked to left center field. And another big hit. And now we've seen them pile on 2 runs, and now another 2 runs as Baker County Wildcats looking really good here in the state semifinals. And I think that's number, 18? Mm-hmm. That's Karis Richardson again. I hope I'm saying her name right. That's a different name. Karis?
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And she now has 4 ribbies on the day.
Have a day.
Hey, good for you. Baker County now in really good shape, 6-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Hey, so Hamby, my next part about this is the coaches. What I learned actually doing this show, and my kids' experience too, but really doing the show because we get to talk to a lot of different coaches, is how invested the coaches are in high school sports. Mm-hmm. We see it a lot. I think we know it a lot from football. We cover a lot of high school football. But now you talk about the other sports and you interact with some of the coaches the way we did with this show, and just really impressed with the coaches in the area. First of all, a lot of knowledge, but a lot of investment. It's not, they like to win too. Like, they want to win. Like, winning's important to them, and that's okay. But it's not the end-all, be-all. They get perspective on this stuff, I think, quicker than even me as a parent or the kids sometimes. And I appreciate that. I mean, I talk to a lot of coaches. Again, this isn't just around my kids. This is you have conversations about what it's all about and what they're doing and what they see. And yeah, it's dang it, man, we lost. But then it's quickly to, yeah, but this was cool or that cool. That happens. You know, that's just sports. And so I like that. I think that's it's not that I questioned whether it did happen. I think I just was assured that it does happen. Remember, these are coaches that are not getting paid a lot of money, right, especially here in the state of Florida. But they are invested in the people. I think they do it for the people. They can't wait to see where these kids go down the road. And by the way, that's not just star kid. And I know some parents probably are like, hey, yeah, star kid probably gets this attention, this. I don't think that's true. I've heard so many stories about kids that are like the 12th player on the team or kid that doesn't play much.
Who ends up going to the JUCO spot and carving out a career.
That's right. Or becomes very successful in life and it was one of the favorite people they coached.
Right.
You know? Like, I do think that's important to say. And man, we owe a lot to the coaches that put a lot of time in. And those baseball, softball folks that take care of the fields and do all those things that they're not really getting paid hour by hour for. And organizationally. And they deal with a lot. They know your kids better than you know your kids sometimes for 4 hours a day and see stuff that you don't see. So hats off to the coaches in the area, and thanks to the coaches in the area for helping this show go.
And I'll throw one more point on that. You know, in high school, I mean, it's such a formative time, not to get too deep, but, you know, you got teachers that, you know, hopefully are phenomenal, and I believe that the large majority of them are. But for a lot of kids, you know, if home life's not that great, teaching, school's really not their thing, their only escape from that is the baseball field. And it's way more in high school than it is for travel because it's every day and it's dependable. And it's every day you see the same coaches, you see the same kids. And I got to believe, I mean, for so many girls, guys, doesn't matter, that's all they look forward to. And then for those 2 hours, 3 hours every single day, you know, the world disappears. And, I mean, that's high school sports in general, all of them, but it's that thing that they look forward to the most, that no matter what else is going on, that's there for them. And that's why coaches are such a big part, and that's why those relationships can be built so fast, is because it's just where they go.
Yeah, I think that's very well said, by the way. And I think they pour a lot.
Another knock here real quick.
Wow, we got another one. Other base hit.
Slap down the left field line.
7-0 now. Yeah, they pour a lot, by the way. These coaches pour a lot into the kids, right? Into the program, but into the kids. And I think you got to acknowledge that. We want to acknowledge that. Something I think is really cool and maybe didn't have as much insight on before my kids were playing, or we're talking to a lot of again, this ramped up for us a little bit over the last couple of years because of this show and talking to a lot more coaches outside of football. Football, I think we've always done it. I've covered high school football for 25 years. Haven't necessarily always up close covered all the other sports. And so what you see is in baseball and softball trickles down to, in my opinion, a lot of the other sports that we don't cover to the degree of high school football on Friday nights and get to know all the coaches. Unless you're covering preps like for a newspaper or other things, which there are people that do that. But it's not really the nature of our job on TV. We don't we kind of cover it from a broader view. But this kind of stuff helped us get inside and meet a lot of the coaches and see what they do a little bit closer. And I think it's pretty cool what they do and what they're all about. And to that point, let me say one more thing, and then we'll go to break as we get a 7-0 score on Baker County. St. John's Country Day just won a state championship. We're going to check in from Claremont. Might even try to get St. John's Country Day on if we can in a break after their celebrations take place. But, you know, we just finished with our kids, obviously, and their focus is kind of always on your kid to a degree. But I actually think it's not just about your kid. And I think we misplace this sometimes. I think I think this is one thing I've learned about the youth sports world, and Steph and I have a lot of conversations like, did you see that? Did you see like Ty did this or Kaylee did this? And it's like, yeah, not everybody's watching the game like that. Like if you ask me what Johnny did in the game, like I can't tell. I forget his at-bats. I forget if he made an error. I forget this or that. It's like you are so under a microscope with your kid and what they're doing, how their body language is and what they're saying and how they swung and they're at bat and they're this. And it's like, not everybody's watching your kid like that. I mean, not even the coaches, I think, are sometimes watching your kid like that. So I think you got to remember that. But what I think is even better is kind of what just happened with like St. John's Country Day. You know, everybody talks about St. John's Country Day. They talk about Colt Myers and they talk about Kyle Boylston and they talk about last couple years, Cody Denault had some fantastic years and they'll talk about the pitchers. And there's so many guys to talk about. You know who they're talking about this year? Out of the blue? George Gilson.
Yep.
Like that's the cool stories. And that there's so many cool stories. From the kid getting 2 at-bats and taking advantage of an opportunity to a kid just having a fantastic season or coming up in a big moment and delivering, which is really cool. You've done this, Hamby. You've seen it. Like you got a guy come in out of the pen. You're like, well, we had to go to him. Yeah. I'm not sure we have a lot of confidence in him, but heck, he got those 3 outs and they were huge.
Right.
Like, man, what a moment. That's what it's all about. And we talk about it a lot. It is about the moments more than the whole thing. Like if you can have a moment, maybe it happened your sophomore year, your junior year, your senior year. Maybe it's in the middle of a game instead of an end of the game. Maybe it's against your rival. Maybe it's in a playoff game. The moments are what they kind of remember, and usually the good ones. We'll always remember all the bad stuff too. I can still tell you all the things I did wrong in a baseball field in my career. So, but I do think like remember that. If I can give a little bit of advice to parents watching. Like, watch them all. Don't just watch it, but your kid. It's the whole thing. And by the way, your kid handles, like, success and failure better than you do. The kids are so much more resilient. We're, like, the worst part of it. I mean, I am. I mean, I'm still thinking about some stuff. But it's hard to get it out. But the kids move on quicker, man. They know it's part of the game. They see the bigger picture. I feel like the kids sometimes see the bigger picture better than we do. Mm-hmm. The parents out there stewing because your kid's on the bench. Should the kid want to play? Probably. But he's probably not stewing as mad as you are. Mm-hmm. Like I did that. I mean, I sat the bench a ton in college. And I still had a great experience. Was I pissed sometimes I was on the bench? It was like, yeah, I could have done. Yeah. A little bit, but I was also like, I had a blast. I had fun. Like, it doesn't mean I had a bad experience.
Right.
You know? So, like, there's just so much. Those are some of the things that you learn from this perspective a little bit. And I'm not done yet. I've got a couple more. And but first, let's take a break, and we'll try to hook up with Stuart Weber and maybe even go down to Fort Myers. St. John's Country Day state champions.
9-0 out there.
It's 9-0. Baker County may be about to run rule with one more run in a semifinal. They have really turned it on, playing excellent softball. Chance to play for a state championship tomorrow, looks like, for the Cats. And University Christian will go for back-to-back state championships. Coming up later today, and we're there for it. We'll check in with Stuart Weber in just a bit. It's No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. It's our season finale for 2024. In Northeast Florida, we love hanging out on the back patio, maybe grilling out lunch or dinner with the family, enjoying the good weather, or maybe enjoying the big game on the TV. Or maybe your favorite team in town, the Action Sports Jacks team. This is great, except for when it's really hot or the bugs start coming out. But what if you didn't have to worry about that? Titan Outdoor Solutions will make your outdoor area a comfortable spot, any time of the day, any time of the year. This makes too much sense. Titan Outdoor Solutions can give your home an upgrade. Customized pergolas, awnings, controlled shade, even retractable screens. The solution to beating the heat and the bugs and getting more use out of your home is Titan Outdoor Solutions. And this can even help prevent storm damage at your home. Living in Florida and living in your home is already good. Now make it great. Quality products, custom work, locally owned and operated. Visit TitanShuttersAndScreens.com or call 904-484-7580.
A late equalizer and an impressive debut highlight the week for the Jacksonville Armada. At Southern Oak Stadium, it took an 84th minute goal from defender Callum Frogson to earn a point against Naples United FC and stay unbeaten.
What we need to do is stick to our philosophy. We're going to take the positives away from this game and look forward to the next one.
The men's under-23 squad now hits the road for the next 3 matchups, including a pair of games in Naples this week. Match number 1, win number 1 for the Armada women's under-23s, who returned from their inaugural match at FC Prime with 3 goals and 3 points. Head coach David Goff's squad now gets the opportunity to play in front of its home crowd for the first time ever.
For us, it's a chance to pay the fans back. Our fans are amazing. We're going to get a chance when the game kicks off to show them how much that means to us.
That matchup gets started at 5 p.m. Saturday. Tickets available at JacksonvilleArmada.com with a live broadcast on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can save $1,000 or more when you bundle the Connecticut Premier Softener with a Connecticut K5 drinking water system. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Do you have ugly concrete around your home or business? Are you tired of concrete that is cracked, stained, or just plain ugly? Spartan Coatings' range of products provides a surface that is non-porous, easy to clean, antibacterial, and slip-resistant, all with superior durability. Living in Florida nearly my whole life, I know the toll our weather can take on a garage floor. That's why I had Matt and the crew from Spartan Coatings transform this space. And the best part? They did it in one day. It was a professional process from step 1. The polyurea and polyaspartic system provides superior flexibility, is 4 times stronger than epoxy coatings, and will withstand temperatures high and low. Plus, it comes with a 20-year warranty. Whether it's a garage floor, patio, pool deck, driveway, or your interior flooring, Spartan Coatings has you covered. To get started transforming your ugly concrete surfaces, call 904-671-3930 or visit SpartanCoatings.com today for your free quote.
Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town. And I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine. Well, here's the winning play for St. John's Country Day. It was strike 3, and the catcher couldn't hang on to it. And that is Connor Osteen scoring from third. He was a pinch runner in the game. That's how the game ends. That's how the 2A state championship is won. Third consecutive walk-off win for the St. John's Country Day Spartans. Cool thing about Osteen, he's been going to St. John's Country Day since he was in kindergarten. So what a nice moment for him. And they walk it off and get it done. That is St. John's Country Day. Congratulations to Tom Lucas, his staff, and all the kids there. For the Spartans, as they've been one of the top teams really in the area of the state and even the country for the last few years. Had some dominant teams. Now they're going to lose a lot off that team. We'll see what they're able to do going forward, but I think the program's in really good shape, and as is Trinity Christian. Now Trinity looks like they are kind of situated better because they only lose 3 seniors, and I think one that plays a lot. So they are probably positioned going into next year at least from a proven commodity standpoint, a lot better. They bring back Florida State, Virginia on the mound. And that doesn't count Florida State and the best player in the sophomore class, many people say, coming back to the outfield. So I think Trinity's, and that doesn't count our guy Chandler Dantzler too, who we at second base, who had his sophomore year just finished. So they got a lot coming back for Jonathan Murphy's team. But congratulations to St. John's Country Day for the only state championship, by the way, in baseball in Jacksonville. So from the 904 and represented with a state title. Meanwhile, softball trying to win a state championship in Baker County, and we bring in Action Sports Jack Stuart Weber, who usually has a date in Claremont just about every year now as we get a couple of teams. University Christian goes later today, and what a couple of innings for Baker County, man.
Yeah, they really have turned it on here in the later innings. You've seen the runs being scored 9-0 now here, top 6. Looking to preserve the shutout. They got a runner on third, does American Heritage, 2 outs. So we'll see if Baker County can keep that going here. But yeah, you mentioned it. I've made this trip down here to Claremont a few times now, so I'm used to it. I know to bring a step stool to stand out here in the outfield, and you don't mess anywhere near any of the behind the plate stuff. It's way too congested over there.
Oh, you don't just carry that step stool around?
This is a good spot.
You don't just carry that step stool around?
You don't have to be like that. There you go. So Baker County strands a runner on third as we talk about the softball going on here, and they will head now to the bottom of the 6th, up 9-0. Looking like they will play in the state championship game tomorrow, barring a crazy 7th inning.
Yeah,
Heck, go get a run here in the 6th. You won't have a 7th inning.
That's right. They've really poured it on in the 4th and 5th, scoring 9 runs. It was a scoreless game going to the 4th. And Jen Shields, by the way, is there as a parent. Yesterday, she was there as a coach. We've been kind of keeping you up to date on that story, which is a cool one. I know she's a little upset. Obviously, yesterday they had chances. They lose in 10 innings, by the way, to Cavalry Christian. But just a proud mama today. I know you saw her earlier.
She's wearing a Baker County shirt, so, she has made that transition. I will say I've seen a bunch of her players out here as well to come support not only Coach Shields, but, their neighbors. I mean, Baker County right next to Baldwin, they obviously wish that they were playing tonight for that 3A championship, but in talking to Coach Shields, she like you said, lamented those missed opportunities, loading the bases in the 8th and the 9th. I mean, it's tough. It's always tough when it ends, but especially when it ends on a big stage like this. Our third and final team making that trip to Claremont, saw them pull up about 5-10 minutes ago. University Christian, currently off in the cages, getting some swings in before they hit the field. 4 o'clock, a big one for them against Calvary Christian. It's a rematch from last year's state title game, so going to be interesting to see if they can go back-to-back. That team they're playing is 27-2 this year, so going to be a good matchup to see what Sophia Kardatsky can do to those bats from Calvary Christian.
All right, Weber, I don't want you to miss the potential walk-off, so get on out of here. And you just mentioned a name. I'll talk about her a little bit because we mentioned Grace Jones last week for Episcopal, one of the best players in the state. Well, Sophia Kardatsky has been that as well, about to wrap up her terrific career maybe with the state championship. Thanks, Weber.
You got it. We'll have all these highlights and reaction coming up tonight on Action Sports Jacks.
All right, that is Stuart Weber from Claremont, where the state softball semifinals are being held. Great start and good news for Baker County. They lead 9-0, going to the state championship most likely tomorrow. It's 6th inning, and UC plays later today and has a chance to go back-to-back. They've been here so many times, so they're familiar. And I do want to bring Sophia Kardatsky, Grace Jones. We have a lot of good softball players in the area. Those two have been dominant players. I mean, we were talking about historically good players. 1,000 strikeouts on the mound. Grace had 200 hits, home runs galore for both her and Sophia. Sophia's going to USC Upstate. Grace Jones going to Mercer, and just a hat tip to both of them. There's a lot on that's another thing I've learned about high school ball. There's a lot on those pitchers, man.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot on those two young ladies to kind of carry the freight. They have other good players, and I think sometimes we dismiss that. But there's a lot on those two players to have the success that they've had to be able to deliver each and every time. So hat tip to those two young ladies to be able to bring it over these last 4 or 5, 6, because those girls have played even more than 4 years of high school because the University Christian and Episcopal, you're allowed to do that. So historic careers, though, seriously. I mean, some of those numbers will register here in town, but even across the state for years and years to come. And good luck to Sophia in the Fighting Christians today. And then good luck to both young ladies heading on to college after that. Speaking of college, want to do a little committed to uncommitted? Can we get that for you, Hamby?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Let's highlight a couple of kids. Baseball and softball, and we are going to begin with Levi Peachker, is how you say it. By the way, Baker County did just walk off and win 10-0. So hopefully Weber got the camera turned around in time. There we go. There we go. They are on to the state championship game, and they got the win. That was impressive what they did. It was a scoreless game.
Going into
the fourth inning, the bottom of the fourth.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they just scored 10 runs in the next 3 innings. That was really impressive. So congratulations to them, and we'll continue to follow them tomorrow as well as we hopefully get another state championship around here in girls softball. St. John's Country Day just won one in baseball. So anyway, Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Nimick Buick GMC, and this is our scholarship program, and we're going to give you a couple of juniors. We highlight seniors and juniors in the spring season. That was new this year, and so we've had a whole list of them throughout the year. We're going to do a special show next year on our Committed to the Uncommitteds, including our football presentation, and hopefully check in, what did I say, next year? Next week, I meant. And then hopefully check in with some of the other folks that we've featured over the last couple of months. But we begin with Bowles pitcher and outfielder Levi Peachker, and lefty. Let's see. Here's what I got on him. Left-handed pitcher at the next level. 3 pitches for strikes. Right now he's in that
say no more.
85, 86, 87 zone as a junior.
If you're a lefty, you have 3 pitches for strikes, you'll play. Absolutely.
And I like when they throw this stuff in. Amazing kid, high GPA, great kid, awesome family. This comes from someone different. And Coach Boswell said, hey, agree with everything said. Very competitive kid, extremely hard worker, both on the field and in the classroom. Great teammate as well. Levi Peachker for the Bowl School heading into the summer. The thought is he's playing for CBU on the summer circuit, so we'll keep an eye on him. This will be a big summer for him,
right?
To get a lot of attention on that summer circuit. So good luck to Levi, and very nice things said about him. And lefty pitcher, can't have enough of those, Hamby.
Absolutely not. There's always a place for them.
Absolutely is right. All right, and then I saved it to last. Now, this is a well-deserving. Obviously, we're close to the Creekside program. I get to watch this young lady each and every day for the last few years, and she is a terrific ball player, both on the mound. Has a devastating changeup. Probably didn't pitch enough at times, and also I'm not criticizing coach or anything. I'm just saying, like a little logjam there. She could have pitched more. She will pitch a lot next year.
Would have been at the expense of your kid.
And also plays really all 3 outfield positions. But she was awesome to watch with the bat this year, especially the last 2/3 of the season. She was on fire, hitting second in the lineup. She's got speed. She's got sneaky power, by the way, as well. So can do it all. Can bunt it. I mean, I think really can go anywhere in your lineup and be good, even at the next level. Could it be Division II school? Maybe. St. Leo's, Rollins, Lynn, I think has some interest. She does, at least in them. Hopefully they do in her. From a Division I level, been down to some camps at FIU. And then you could go the junior college route if that's the way it ends up going for Carly Dahl. But again, she can play all outfield positions and pitch it, but really hit at any position in the lineup. She'll be playing for the Gold Coast Hurricanes in the summer, too. It'll be an important summer for Carly Dahl, but had a heck of a spring. And the thing I like about it is, from a softball perspective, now that I've watched a lot of softball, when you can bunt, you can run, you can hit for power, you can control the barrel. There's a lot there, so that's a lot to work with any coach. I don't know how all of that projects to the next level, but some of that's going to project to the next level.
They'll find it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we even have a little video of Carly. I don't know if were you able to get some video of Carly?
Let me see.
Yeah, we'll show it maybe a little bit later if we have it. But Carly Dahl and Levi Peachker, Creekside and Bowles, both 2025s, heading into a big summer. Committed to the Uncommitted, presented by Nimick Buick GMC. And once again, the headline story here, Baker County just wrapped up a 10-0 win. They run rule in the 6th inning in the state semifinals that play for a title tomorrow. And then University Christian going at 4 o'clock today to play for a 2A state championship, trying to go back-to-back. And in 2A, on the boys' side, St. John's Country Day just walked off a win in the 8th inning on a wild pitch on a 3rd strike, or a pass ball on a 3rd strike, however you want to rule it. But they walk it off and they get it done. So they have won. So here's Carly. Yeah, take a look at this. And by the way, if you don't play at Creekside softball, she'd have a lot more home runs than she did.
This was the Bartram game.
Yeah, she dominated in the Bartram game. And she also threw against Bartram earlier this year and several other teams and pitched really well. But I think she would have had probably, like, in a lot of parks, like 7, 8 home runs this year. And Creekside's park's a little bit bigger than some, and that wall plays a factor. She's hit the top of the wall quite a bit. So a little more legs in the weight room, Carly.
That's it.
And then we got some more dingers next year for that senior season. So again, Carly Dahl and Levi Peachker from Bowles. Those are committed to the uncommitted, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. All right, where else are we heading? Let's do this, man. We got to get to power polls. We don't do that yet, and we also have to get to a couple more thoughts on what we learned in high school. I've got something on scoring. I've got something on umpires. I've got something on FHSAA that I want to get to. I think I got a great suggestion for umpires.
Okay,
and I want to get your thoughts on it. But I also want to see if we can get down to Fort Myers and get St. John's Country Day. I know they were going through a lot of the post-game festivities and the trophy presentation, but if we can get them in the next 15 minutes, that'd be awesome. They've already posed for that picture. So let's try to see if we can get the state champs. Let's take a break so we can be able to do that. We'll take you until 3 o'clock. No gate fees, presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. It's been a busy live show. It's like an election show here. It's like a late breaking, trying to get everything in. But St. John's Country Day wins the state championship. Congrats to them. Everyone loves a good game night. Here you don't have to be the host. You don't have to clean up. They bring the food and drinks to you, and you can watch whatever you want on the big screens. It's more than a card room. It's a night full of fun with friends. Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now the newest location here in St. Augustine, right off 95 at exit 311. A brand new clean room, a full bar and menu, my favorite sushi in town, and I love the fries too. You don't have to just play poker at Best Bet. That's why I come over here to the table games and play one-card poker. That's a pretty good card and a win. One-card poker is like war as a kid, you against the dealer. And this isn't the only fun table game to play. A friendly staff, a lot of fun. It's a good night out at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and the newest location in St. Augustine. You can be a serious player or a novice. It doesn't matter. If winning equals fun, you're a winner every time at Best Bet. I'll save you a seat, and I'll see you down here at Best Bet St. Augustine.
Oh man, it is that time. I love being outside, but it is just so hot. Oh my gosh, I cannot be outside. Well, you know, it doesn't have to be. As a matter of fact, I've got the perfect solution for you to be able to stay outdoors and not look like this guy.
GW Outdoor Solutions has the solution that will help you create areas of shade with their automated retractable awning. As the summer months inch closer, the high temperatures will be right there too. With GW Outdoor Solutions, go from scorching to cooling in no time with one simple push of a button. These innovative shade solutions not only provide protection from the sun and rain, but also add style and functionality to your home. Let GW Outdoor Solutions transform your backyard into paradise. Check out gwoutdoorliving.com for your free estimate.
I like to say everybody has a story, and sometimes we're a part of other people's stories. That's the case here at Nimnick Buick GMC. My family and the Nimnick family. We've purchased 6 different vehicles from Nimnick Buick GMC. Maybe you're in the market for a truck. Well, let me tell you about the GMC Sierra. I absolutely love mine. I've had a couple of these. This one's a 2020, but right now on 2024 GMC Sierras here at Nimnick Buick GMC, there's special financing. A year ago, we purchased a GMC Terrain for the kids. Financing rates as low as 0.9% for eligible buyers on Terrains and no payments for 90 days. Looking for used instead of new? Buy a used car with the Car Bravo program. Nimnick Buick GMC certifies all makes and models. Let the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville take care of you and your family. Come on out and see the showroom, meet the fantastic people, or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
The friendliest golf course in town, the Golf Club at Southampton. Local golfers have no shortage of options when it comes to picking a course to play here in Northeast Florida year-round. Yet time and time again, I find myself here at the Golf Club at Southampton. easy to get to off 210 in St. Johns County. It's family owned and operated and renowned for being one of the area's most player-friendly. That's just one of the reasons we hold the Action Sports Jack's Dream 18 charity golf tournament here each fall. The Mark McCumber design layout is great for all skill levels of golfers, from the guys who bomb it a mile on the range to golfers like me who are just happy to put it in the fairway, which Southampton has very accommodating fairways. And if you need new clubs, come down to the pro shop. They'll fit you up and get you a nice new set like they did for me. For more information on membership or to book a tee time and see for yourself, head over to golfsouthampton.com or call the clubhouse at 904-287-7529. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the official home of the Action Sports Jack's Dream 18. Make it your home for golf too.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown. Hey, take a look at our no gate fees presented by Nimnik Buick GMC. High Five Power Poles and okay.
There's UC.
Yeah, there's University Christian. Hey, Coach, and good luck today as the Fighting Christians are heading into the ballpark to play at 4 o'clock first pitch. Stuart Weber taking us there in Claremont. Looks like a beautiful day. Sometimes this time of year you can get those storms rolling in over there, and right now it looks like it's pretty safe, and which Stuart loves that too, which can get him home on time. Stuart will have a report from Claremont on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Yeah, he's been there before. You can wait some. We've been there before where you wait some stuff out for sure. Thanks, Weber. Appreciate it. Doing a great job over there. We saw some Baker County wins 10-0, and now can Jacksonville get another one here today with University Christian. Sophia Kardatsky will be on the mound. She pitched a great game yesterday. 15 Ks in the semifinal. No walks. Had it under control. And they're able to get it done. She picked up her 1,000th career strikeout, by the way. All right, let's go back to the power pole and the high school high five power pole, whatever the hell we call it, here on No Gate Fees, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC. I'm the one that made the name up, so maybe I shouldn't have made it so difficult. Baldwin, I know they lost. I still think they're the best team in the area. That can happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Baker County, though, man, they've had a nice season. I don't think people saw this coming from Baker County. I don't know if we didn't know enough about their team, thought they had lost some. Man, oh man, they have really done a great job. And by the way, we were talking about that Jennifer Shields story, coach of Baldwin, her daughters play at Baker County. It was Bailey Shields, one of her daughters, who hit the inside the park home run to end that game in run rule fashion just a couple minutes ago. So good for Mom to be able to see that. And they go to a state championship game coming up tomorrow. Long stay for the Shields in Claremont this week. Episcopal and Grace Jones, I mean, they lost to Baldwin. I still think they're right there. University Christian, honestly, with all these teams, they weren't the better team necessarily of some of the teams listed. I think, I want to say, like Oakleaf, West Nassau, and Creekside might have beat them. That doesn't mean it's just a one-off game, but University Christian didn't look as strong. Now, 2A is a little bit more navigable, is that a good word, than some like 3A. It just is. I'm not taking anything away from UC. I'm just saying 3A, I don't know. But I was trying not to use the word easy. It's, but I mean, 3A is just a beast. I mean, Baldwin, Episcopal, West Nassau alone, all in 3A, just in Jacksonville. So, but UC has turned it on at the right time. They're playing good ball, and they have a chance to go back-to-back. So, nothing against them. That's why I don't necessarily have them above the other three, though. I'm trying to explain myself. And Middleburg, if you look at their losses this year, you look at the quality teams they lost to. I mean, nobody beat them unless they were really good. Oakleaf, West Nassau, Creekside on deck as well. Meanwhile, baseball, if we go over to that one, Hamby, And this is always tricky. I know I'll get some feedback, and some of the boys in the chat I asked them for their top 5, and they gave me some things that I can't put up on here. So I scared them. They were probably waiting for this moment. I said, wait until I put that up there tomorrow. But I'm not going to do so. St. John's Country Day, Trinity Christian, I think they've earned it. And then where do you want to go here, right? I've been throwing this damn thing up in the air all year. I have no idea. But I will say this.
I like Clay at 3.
Clay made it to a regional final. They beat Creekside. They beat a lot of other top teams. They're in every game. Creekside made it to the Final Four. Only played 4.5 innings. I'm sorry, made it to the Elite 8 regional final. Only played 4.5 innings. Bishop Snyder made it to the regional final against Trinity before they lost. And what an effort it was by Bishop Snyder. What a heck of a run. Probably could put them at number 3, really. But I tried to get some public schools in there, too. And then Bowles lost to Trinity Christian. Bishop Snyder, Trinity Christian, Bowles, I think could have beaten anybody in the state. You know? And then Columbia and Bishop Kenny had very nice years. I think those are about the 8 teams. I don't think I'm missing anybody there. But again, you can kind of throw them up in the air outside of top 2. I mean, it's definitely St. John's Country Day now. State champs and Trinity Christian, very talented team. So, hey, these are debatable things. So have fun with it.
And
if you want.
That leads you to one of your things that you learned this year, coming off of 4.5 innings, is that you got to play 7.
Yeah, you know, I haven't added. Yesterday, I had added up until the point of games, and I'll just give you this on that. All right, really tried to stay away from that topic as much as possible, and
I'll let you.
But I will say this, and we just had another one. So, as of yesterday, before any games today, and even half the games yesterday, if you take the playoffs from Class 1A to 7A in baseball, from the regional finals on, okay, so it started with 28 games on that regional final across all classifications. Then you get to the next level, so there are less and less games. So whatever the game total would be, I think maybe it's like 50 games or something like that. I don't know. But as far as I got to, there had been 90 runs scored after the bottom of the 5th inning in all those games, bottom of the 5th inning on. And then there had been 15 outcomes that were determined. Even determined. Like, it might have been a tie game, but determined after the bottom of the 5th inning. And we just saw it happen again. I mean, St. John's Country Day, them alone in the last 3 games, they're on their way to the state championship. All of those games decided in the 6th, 7th, or beyond innings.
Trinity yesterday.
The bottom line is a lot does happen. I think we got to do a better. There's 2 things that I would like the FHSAA to do that is not done at the big league level or whatever, and I think we should use this model. Yes, during tonight, if a game goes 5 innings, it's done in baseball. Like, you can call it if it goes that far. They also use the Texas tiebreaker. Well, I'd like the FHSAA to say, hey, in the World Series, they don't do either one, right? Or in the playoffs, they don't do either one in Major League Baseball or in big-time sports. Don't do it here either. In the state championship series, it shouldn't be a 4.5 inning game, or a 5.5 inning game, or a called game. Finish it. Find a way to finish it. And then the other one is get the Texas tiebreaker out of there in softball. Doesn't make sense. The Texas tiebreaker is terrible. And Baldwin, I mean, they probably could have won because of it, but I also think it was unfair to the other team at the time. Like, I'm watching that game, and I'm like, the Texas tiebreaker is changing this game the way it's done. Just let them play. You shouldn't be altering the game by your rules this late in the year. I just don't think you should.
The Texas tiebreakers for the 8U travel ball tournament when you got 10 games that day and
totally
you got a tight ship.
Totally
that's
get
what
it.
That's for.
Totally get it. So FHSAA, by the way, my one message, and hopefully we can do this, and I think what we learned through high school is I think we can do better. I think we can be better. I think we need to. We have too good of sports. It means too much to people to not be a little bit better. And I think they've come a long way. I think they have a really hard job. I really do. But I think we're going to try to work a little bit more if we can help advance it. And I think the number one thing the FHSAA can do better without even anybody else's help is just be a little more transparent about their rules, about everything else, how the structure works, even if you can't tell us how the ranking systems work. Just be more upfront on your YouTube channel. Again, we've offered to help. We can help that out if you want. All right. Game Changer, by the way, is not for everybody. It's not everything. Don't pay attention to Game Changer. It's fun to pay attention to Game Changer. It's a cool system. But take it with a grain of salt, people. That's the other thing I've learned. I mean, it doesn't mean everything. Not the way baseball and softball is, or this sport is, Hamby. I mean, you go 0 for 3 and hit 3 lineouts.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean everything, right? And then I've got one more thing. Umpires. I think we love you, by the way. Appreciate your service, and thanks for listening to me for the last 4 years. The other thing is
putting up with it.
Okay, yeah, for putting up to me. I think umpires should do an introduction to the crowd before every game. And I think if they did that, I think we'd feel a little more personal level with them. And I'm wondering how to logistically do it, but even a small parent umpire meeting prior to a game, I think could go a long way. I'm going to evolve that a little bit more.
Hey, my name's Bill, and I have a 9 to 5. I have 2 kids at home. I'm looking for an extra cash, and I love the sport.
Yeah, man, we're going to do our best tonight, right? And you get it. I think you could go along the long way with that. And one last thing, this is the biggest one as we end no gate fees for 2024. What I learned, thank your kids. We don't thank our kids enough. Thanks for taking them on a journey, Ty, Kaylee, and all the rest of them. It's a heck of a journey in high school sports, and it's been awesome to be along for the ride. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a good day, everybody.